Puts Kentucky back on the field, and then Ray Davis, all day Ray. Man, oh man, is Davis doing it up.
This is Tootin taking it to his left, got a seam. Facial Tootin on the move, got some alleys out there. Beep, touchdown!
Back shoulder throw, he's got it. It's Tez Johnson. Johnson, Colin Johnson, touchdown.
Is their defense. Little hole there to the right side, first down and then some. Jeremiah Love, touchdown Notre Dame. It's Williams in motion, low snap, Melrose stopped. Michigan makes a stand and comes up with a milestone playoff victory.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Week 0 podcast, where it's just me and Phil right now. I'm your host. Top left box / WTF is Virginia Tech, and after this week, seriously, what the fuck is Virginia Tech? Also known as Connor, my main man to my left here, Triple M, Maze Madman, Phil. Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How was it? How was it being seeing Michigan play again?
How was it? What?
How good was it seeing Michigan? Like, how great was it seeing Michigan finally playing again? Start their national title defense.
Defense, right? Yeah.
For the first time in your lifetime.
No, not my lifetime, but yeah, certainly. It is different, right? Than even in 97, 98, whenever we came off of that one. But the Fresno was a decent team. They're probably going to challenge for the Mountain West, but Michigan won.
I heard that it was it was kind of close for a part.
It was close. In fact, they got it down to 6 points in the fourth quarter before, the last 3 minutes, Michigan put up 14 points. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, it's just me and Phil right now, so we'll try. Hopefully, Lucas and Josh can join us. Ryan will not be joining us very much because he was in College Station seeing his Fighting Irish survive Texas A&M. We will talk about that game eventually. I think the first thing we need to talk about is Georgia dog walks Clemson, right? And the ACC is, has looked terrible overall, really.
Man.
And they're not even like power. It's going to be a Power 3 conferences soon. You know what I mean? Like what was your biggest takeaway from this game? I wasn't able to watch it that much because I think it was playing at the same time as the PT game, so I wasn't able to watch it much.
It was. And I think the biggest takeaway was Cade Klubnik is not who he was supposed to be. Right? Like he was like what? He's like a 5-star recruit, right? And this guy that was supposed to take over for DJU and be like this Clemson savior, and he is not that. And Georgia's defense is absolutely stout.
Yeah, I mean, I will call it that I was never a Cade Klubnik fan coming into this season after how he looked last season.
Right.
And I can't say I saw much, but based on what I've seen and heard, it just doesn't sound like he's going to be able to turn around. Obviously Georgia looked fantastic. Obviously it's a great win. This is the second or third time in the past 5 years Georgia and Clemson have played each other in the first week or two, and Georgia's just won easily every single time, I think. It's kind of funny like that, but is Clemson's I can't remember where I saw it, but there was one sports journalism thing that said, is Clemson's mini dynasty over? Which, I guess you could kind of call it that they had there for that 4 or 5 year span where they won 2 national championships and were in another natty game in that span. Do you think that that's now officially over, or is going to be over pretty soon?
I do. I mean, unless Dabo really picks it up in terms of participating in today's college football, I do think it's going to be slow motion for those guys going forward. I still think. I mean, they've recruited pretty well. Still, even in this class, the current class, they've recruited pretty well. So I mean, you can't like count them completely out. Especially if the ACC continues to have a conference, which it does look like, they're moving towards the doom of that conference, especially if teams like Clemson and Florida State, and which I'm sure Miami, North Carolina leave, then it's over for them too. But yeah, I do think the days of them like playing in 3 of 4 championships and stuff like that might be over.
Yeah. I think, I mean, honestly, you could say pretty much they've lost, I think, like 3 games at least each of the last like 2 or 3 seasons, which
Right.
I guess that's their version of a down year.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's
Kinda
not
like
bad for just about any other
we just-
program.
Yeah, it's just like how we were just like Bama lost 2 games last year, and we're like, oh my god, it's a down year for them. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, I think the same thing happened with Saban. It's like is happening to Dabo. His refusal to move with the times is costing them. Now you are seeing that some of these teams are showing that you can't fully rely on the transfer portal to make up talent, like Florida State did with Georgia Tech, and we'll see how this next game goes tomorrow against Boston College. So I'll be interested to see how they respond to that
Right.
game. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. The ACC, like, it's just wide open. I mean, obviously now I think Miami is now easily probably the favorite, I think. But knowing how Miami goes, I still kind
Cam
of
Ward looks
something's
pretty good.
going to happen. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
let's actually just move on since I mentioned Miami. Miami rocks Florida like a hurricane. I like using these puns and stuff when I'm putting the shows together. Yeah, Miami looked great.
Yeah.
And what was it, like? I think last time I saw it was 30-10. At least when I saw the score. I don't know what the final was, but
Yeah.
is
it got pretty ugly there.
Was that more Miami is that good or Florida is that bad? What's your thought on that?
Well, I think it's a combination of the two. I don't necessarily know if Miami is that good, but Cam Ward certainly is an upgrade over what they've had at quarterback. We know that they've hit the portal as well as anyone. They've recruited as well as anyone over the last few years. So maybe it's a culmination of these things starting to come together for them. But I definitely think that Florida is bad, and Billy Napier is probably going to lose his job this year.
Yeah, which is actually like it sucks because the only thing that I think would save him is just the fact that they have probably easily have the hardest schedule in college football.
Right.
I think that's the only thing that could possibly save him, at least this year. Right. If they have if they have a weaker schedule next year, I don't know what their schedule is next year. And then they struggle again, then maybe that's about the only reason I can see them keeping him for this year is he kind of can use that as an excuse. But at the same time, you would want Florida, you would want them to be able to play up to and handle a schedule like that. You know what I mean? To prove,
right?
Like if Georgia had a schedule like what Florida has, I think we would all expect Georgia to fully be up to the task of, meeting that getting 8, 9, maybe 10, 10, 11 wins, right?
Yeah.
With a schedule as difficult as that. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Miami, it's just like I said, it's totally would be a Miami thing look great and then crash and burn, or not crash and burn, but just drop off. Have like a 2017 where they were looking great and then choked against Pitt, and they didn't even, and like they lost badly in the New Year's Six bowl game, I think too. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But do you think Miami is the ACC favorite?
Yeah, I think I would put them in as the front runner after 1 week. Yeah. If this thing was like a power ranking, yeah, they certainly are number one for me after week 1.
Yeah, I think it just helps that, Clemson lost, Florida State lost, Virginia Tech lost, even though they were more of a dark horse. But then NC State struggled against Western Carolina. That was a game that was very close for a long period of time. Who else? Those are really the only ones. I don't know. How did Louisville do? Did they win? I'm assuming they won, but I don't know what their score was.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they beat Western. Was it Western Michigan?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, that was I think that was close for a little bit too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Syracuse and the Honda McCord looked pretty good. Did you see that?
Really?
300.
Yes, I did.
I think like 78 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
Let me look that up real quick. I think they did. Well, 38-22. Defense a little worrying, but that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Notre Dame since Ryan's not here. Tough, gritty game, low scoring.
Right on the road.
Basically, on the road. Basically, Ryan said in the group chat he thought it was going to be exactly like the Ohio State game, and he was actually afraid that the game was going to end pretty much how that game ended last year, where Notre Dame was going to choke it away, and he thought that was going to happen, but Notre Dame came through. They didn't actually choke it for once, or didn't mess up. I couldn't watch much, but what I did see, I liked. Yes, my concern. Oh my God, what a catch by
Did
USC!
You see
my
that?
God!
Wow!
Did you see that one-handed just now? Oh my God!
I just saw that. Yeah.
Is that Branch? Oh
no, that's not Branch. And maybe he didn't catch it though.
He bobbled it. Oh, did he not catch it? Did it hit the ground? Dude, that pick though by Robert Morris.
Yeah.
Robert
the
Morris.
Greatest. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, that might have hit the ground, but that's still a good effort. Anyway, getting back to this. My concerns are still kind of there with Notre Dame. My issue was with Riley Leonard as a passer, and it's still there. Ryan said the same thing. He said the passing offense wasn't that great. Obviously, I'm sure Texas A&M's probably has a good defense, so that's an excuse to use. But that's definitely something to worry about going forward. Notre Dame obviously also has a very young, inexperienced offensive line. I think they have like 6 combined starts in their career across all five players. So, what held them is their defense, which is what was great last year. Mm-hmm. It's expected to be a top 5 defense again this year. So now, what was your takeaway from Texas A&M, or do you have any thoughts on them?
They seem to not be able to pass the ball. What's his name? Weigman. Whatever his name is.
I literally saw one pass by him, and his motion looked super weird.
Yeah,
that was my biggest takeaway. And 2, the wide receiver, it was a running back, had no idea where he was on the field, and just steps out of bounds at the half-yard line.
That play was pretty big because that, in essence, gave the ball back. They punted it back to – that was a 3rd down play. That was like 3rd and 10, and they got 9.5.
If he realized where it was, it would have been first down.
Right, exactly. And they punted it back to Notre Dame, who goes and scores. Otherwise, they keep that drive going. Maybe they can go get some points, but certainly was a big play.
Yet again, Texas A&M is super overrated going into the season. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, it's Mike Elko's first game with them. So, we'll see how it goes. I just remember seeing, I think there was a video circulating on Twitter that I saw. I'm not sure if it was from like Texas A&M's drive where they were trying to tie it after Notre Dame scored. And he's saying, so it was like, stop passing the fucking ball. Stop passing the fucking ball. Just run it.
Who was saying this?
Mike Elko was shouting that at somebody. It was on the sideline.
Yeah.
He's like full on, the camera just right at him. And you can't see who he's just yelling at him.
Yeah.
He's like saying, stop passing the effing ball. Stop passing the effing ball.
Right.
Because
they can't. Weigman is not good, and he should not be passing the ball.
Well, it's not even that. It's not. I mean, even a good passing QB is going to struggle against a secondary like Notre Dame's. So you know what I mean.
That's fair.
So we shall see. Notre Dame plays. Is that their hardest game of the year? Probably. So we shall see.
They play. They don't play Clemson this year, right?
No, I don't think so.
And I think they get Florida State in South Bend. Which after what we saw from Florida State, that may not be as big a game as we thought.
They called it. They did rule it a catch.
Yeah.
Wow, they did rule it a catch. There you go. That's an impressive catch. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Notre Dame's
that's
schedule
interference.
real quick.
That's interference.
Pass interference. Yep. Okay, I'm waiting for this. Sorry. Suddenly, maybe that Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, depending how Georgia Tech goes.
Yeah. Didn't Georgia Tech
in mid to late October
finish the season like 4-0 or something like that against ranked opponents a season ago? Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think Brent Key because he has a full season last year, and he has a half season. He has like more than half a season before that. He already has like 5 wins against top 25 teams in that time frame.
Right. And I'm gonna.
Other than that, it's Florida State at home, and then they close the season at USC, which I mean USC is probably going to be unranked by that point. So yeah, it'll probably be an easy schedule.
I mean, they're looking pretty good. They're looking like they're going to get some points here. So, but I think.
Gang, what's up, fellas? You guys, I feel like you guys started an hour early.
Did we? I have no idea.
Not only that, well, we haven't gotten to your game yet, but when we get to your game, you be prepared.
Hey, Zay and I already talked it out. We're good. We don't need to talk about it.
We don't need to talk about it.
Josh, you better change that fucking name, or I'm gonna kick your ass.
No.
Anchor down.
Oh.
That's great.
Stop it.
All right.
I'm an admin.
Have you guys been giving your thoughts on this game?
Damn it. Okay. What's
the name? Oh, we got to display names.
We were talking about
your names aren't being displayed.
You. Hey, yeah, hold on. We'll throw my name up here in a sec.
Oh God, Luke's here. No.
All right.
How do you
thoughts?
spell names?
Hold on, I got this. I'll try to.
There it goes.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. Here, I'll trade places with you for a second, Lucas. I'll go back down. So anchor down, Bryant. Yes, sir.
The year so far, right there.
Just take off the brand. There it goes.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We don't need the brand.
Okay.
Quickest
thoughts on
thoughts
this
before we move on to the Oregon game.
Okay, my thoughts were
on the Notre Dame Texas A&M.
Notre Dame's offense significantly needs to improve in the pass game. It was kind of abysmal, and Riley Leonard was running for his life most of the game. The run game looks really good. I think Texas A&M is a good quarterback away from being a very, very good football team. Connor Weigman is not the guy at all. He's bad.
Very, very bad.
Hey, a win's a win, brother. Come on now. Let's not act like Michigan was all peachy keen against.
Wait,
Fresno.
you said Connor Weigman. They didn't win.
No, he's talking shit about Oregon.
Oh, okay, all right.
Connor Weigman is not good, but Texas A&M has an elite defense. Their defensive line is exactly what we thought they were. I think Riley Leonard is going to end up getting hurt at some point if he keeps doing the shit that he's doing right now, because that guy does not want to slide. He doesn't want to go down after he gets hit the first time. He fights for extra yards, and that's going to get him hurt eventually.
He's Josh Allen, but he's not as good of a passer. That's how I would describe him.
And
as a
he's
quarterback,
significantly smaller.
Yes, very much so.
But overall, I think after getting that victory, I don't see a team on Notre Dame's schedule outside of maybe Louisville that has the roster to compete with them down the stretch. I thought that was going to be Notre Dame's first and only loss. And now I just don't. I mean, maybe Florida State. We'll see. We'll see as the season goes. But
I mean, I was looking Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, Josh, quick, what are your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts on the game, because I wasn't able to watch it. We were stuck in a lightning delay at Kroger Field for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So they did throw the game up on the Jumbotron for a little bit. So we did get to see when it was still 3-3, 6-6, kind of early in the first half. But honestly, I think this is a tremendous win for Notre Dame to go down into Texas A&M and get the win. I thought that was going to be one of their only losses, one of two, maybe. But the way they played, I really can see them finishing the season undefeated. So I'm very happy for Ryan.
Yes, because I feel like we've been all on his ass even more than you guys have been on me. Mm-hmm. So, okay, moving on. We'll quickly cover this. Dude, what the fuck? Lucas, you just want to take over and kind of explain, since you were probably able to watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
So a few things went down, and a few things that I can touch on here. Offensive line struggled. I mean, straight out the gate, it struggled the entire game. Idaho just bullied us for 3.5 quarters. Towards the end of the game, we started to actually get some stuff going, but they bullied us for 3.5 quarters. It's really disappointing because of the talent that we have there, but we do have a really good transfer that was supposed to start today or yesterday, but he was injured, so he could not make that start. So
I read somewhere I read somewhere that the offensive line the past 2 years each have allowed 5 sacks each year, and you allowed 3 in this game alone.
Yes. And part of that is the offensive line. Part of that I will get to in a minute. But first things first, we were without one of our best offensive linemen. And I think that was a big deal for our interior line. We had a different center than we probably would have normally had, because we had to put our center Ponch over to guard. He struggled playing guard. He's kind of a smaller guy, so he's a better center. And so I think we have a lot of time between now and the Ohio State game to fix our shit, because we play Boise State, Oregon State, UCLA, and Michigan State. Those are 4 not very good teams that, we have a lot of time to fix these issues before we face that juggernaut. So that's the offensive line. Our defense looked fantastic. We gave up 14 points to Idaho. I would have liked for us to not give up 14 points, of course. One of them was on a gadget, end around flea flicker type play. So, I mean, things are going to happen. The second one, we gave up a big screen which wasn't good. But our defense was on the field 85% of that game because Dillon Gabriel could not put the ball in the end zone. So I think our defense is really, really good. I think it's definitely Big Ten good. Our offense, on the other hand, really is about Big Ten-esque. I would say we're definitely fitting in with the Big Ten right now. We're not playing very good offense and great defense. There was a point in a press conference with Tez Johnson where he was saying that he could see in Dillon Gabriel's eyes that he was nervous, which blows my mind because he's 42 playing college football still. But it seemed like he was flustered in that game, and especially after he hit his hand on one of the Idaho players' helmets. He didn't want to sling it down the field anymore. He was just doing all these check downs.
Which, his percentage is pretty ridiculous.
So Dillon Gabriel is the Percy Elias of college football, right?
Yes, sure.
So I would say this, even if that is true that he was flustered and, seemed to be struggling, he still went 41 for 49, 380 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right. And I think it's more.
We threw the ball 49 times against Idaho.
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing that. I mean, we were running at what I think it was like a 2.8% or 2.8 average on the ground, which is awful. I don't know the last time Oregon has ever done that in a football game, where we only had 2.8 yards per carry. Dillon Gabriel also didn't run the ball at all, which bugged the hell out of me because he had a lot of opportunities to run the ball. Instead, he slung the ball over the receivers' heads for no reason. It just seemed like one of those games where we were just we gave into our own hype and played it like a preseason game where we were just we were going through the motions. We expected these big plays that just weren't there because, again, I was talking about this in a space earlier today. Idaho is Idaho. I understand they're an FCS school, but they're a very good FCS school. So they're not some team that you can just – they're like North Dakota State where you can't just go in there and sleep. You can't just go in there and sleep. Idaho had something to prove. They wanted to beat us. They clearly, they were a couple plays away from beating us in this game. It's really disappointing. Dan Lanning, he was very short in his press conference after the game. Didn't want to give a lot of stuff away. They asked him what he said in the locker room after the game, and he literally said, "That's for the kids," which makes me think he ripped them a new one. Absolutely ripped them a new one.
Should have.
So I'm not down on anything really. I mean, it's one game. We still won the football game. We're 1-0, the same as Michigan, the same as Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. We're still 1-0. So nothing to hang our heads on too much, but
same as Vanderbilt.
Was it
Sorry, Connor. I gotta take my shots when I can.
I really hope that when you play them, they beat you. That would, because then you get your comeuppance. That would be, I would.
I mean,
that would be one of the most Kentucky go to Ole Miss, beat Ole Miss by a touchdown, come home and lose to Vandy. That would be one of the most Kentucky things ever.
Nice pass and catch there from LSU.
But anyways, yeah, that's really the last I have. I just think we have a lot to prove next week, and I'm hoping that when you guys come to town, the Ducks actually put on a show and don't do what we just did.
If you guys lose, then we will know that we are.
They're gonna put me out the
jinxed.
Airbnb if they lose, bro. I'm gonna have to get a hotel room.
If Oregon loses that game, we would just know that the Week 0 podcast is cursed. Every game we've gone to. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's
I don't
so,
know.
well, I will say this, Lucas, that everything stats wise that I'm looking at, because I didn't get to watch the game, everything stats wise that I'm looking at for Oregon is indicative of poor offensive line play.
100%. There was 2 plays,
3 sacks, having to pass the ball 50 times.
There was 2 plays where Johnny Cornelius, when we were in the red zone getting ready to score, where he was well off the line. So it was a illegal formation that just absolutely killed our momentum. And so that really hurts.
Which a 5-yard penalty really shouldn't kill that much, but I get
shouldn't,
it, right?
It shouldn't, but when we're trying to roll, when we're rolling, it absolutely kills us. And you look at the stats and it looks like we beat them by 60. I mean, we had 22 more first downs than them. 22.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's football. It's one of the things I love about football. I forgot what it was. There was a point in time Stanford was up, and I think they were outgained in both passing and rushing. Who were Stanford playing?
TCU.
Yeah, TCU had like 6 more first downs, had like 10 minutes more time of possession, and Stanford was still winning. So at that point,
it's crazy.
So
dude.
Yeah, it's nuts. I love football, and that it's not like baseball in that sense. You get stats in baseball, it tells you the story of the game. You look at stats in football, it's just like, oh wow, you gotta watch it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Ready?
Here we go,
I'm
Connor.
ready.
I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm gonna be laughing.
Someone actually put up a clock on their phone or something because I ran for 5 minutes. I've never actually truly done a true rant because Virginia Tech sucked when we first started this show, and then they were whatever last year. But okay, first off, Brent Pry. He says in the press conference they were shell-shocked. You are playing at Vanderbilt, not Michigan or Georgia or a top 5 team or a top 10 team on the road. You're playing at Vanderbilt, and you say you're shell-shocked. You had 75% road or home field advantage with the fans, and they just could not get it going. Brent Pry, we also rely on Beamer Ball, and he allows the stupidest penalty ever that gives Vanderbilt 3 free points by having 2 guys with the same jersey on the field at the same time, which directly ends up affecting the end of the score there. Tyler Bowen. I thought we were going to have to deal with jet sweeps with Brad Cornelson. I thought that was the worst we were going to see this offense look. Nope. Instead, let's do incessant, unnecessary, continuous swing passes behind or at the line of scrimmage that don't go anywhere. Vanderbilt could not defend our wide receivers as it showed in the second half. And yet we continued to just not continue to attack them downfield. And it was just infuriating to see. We tied the game. What happened? I'm trying to remember which drive I'm thinking of. Oh my God, I'm blanking because it was just like we come back, we tie the game or something. Next drive, we get a deep pass, get a touchdown, right? The defense then it's so hard for me to actually rant and actually get mad, but it's just unbelievable that this coaching staff still cannot get this team to be prepared week 1 for this 3rd straight year. This team does not, and is unable to start a season or a game right. They were second half team last year, both in games and in the season, and it was just ridiculous. Was I buying into the hype too much? Probably, but you have Rutgers fans who are saying, damn, there goes a good quality out-of-conference win versus Virginia Tech now because of this loss. We are now below Rutgers and Vanderbilt in terms of doormats in college football. And that is just ridiculous and unnecessary. If we don't win like 8 games, I think Brent Pry, well, not even that. Brent Pry, if the offense continues to struggle, he needs to be willing to get rid of some of his coordinators, some of his assistants, because that was what doomed Justin Fuente back when he was there, was his loyalty to his assistants and his coordinators. And that's why the offense sucked and the defense sucked during the last few years Fuente was there. So I legitimately I thought it was going to be more of a I thought the most Virginia Tech way that this season was going to go was somehow we would be screw you, Luke, but you're probably right. But I thought the most Virginia Tech way this season would go was we were going to beat Miami in Miami and then lose by 2 touchdowns at Stanford somehow. This is almost more poetically correct. And now I honestly am half expecting us to be like 1-3 headed into that Miami game. So whoop-de-fucking-do. I can never be happy. At least when it comes to college football. My rant is over. I can't even rant properly.
You can never be happy. That's unfortunate.
You heard it here first, folks.
I've said this before. The day that a college football season has ended and I wasn't embarrassed to be a Virginia Tech fan will be the greatest day of my life. Because
oh man,
because it doesn't matter. Even in seasons when they were good, like Fuente, his first season, 2016, where they go 10-4, right? After choking the game away against Tennessee and gave up 5 turnovers in a game that they should have won easily at the Battle of Bristol, I was kind of embarrassed to be a VT fan, at least in the moment there. Or after we beat Ohio State and then lost to East Carolina the very next fucking week. Like,
man, that's tough.
I knew VT was going to choke somehow. I knew there was going to be an inexplicable loss this season. I thought it was going to be somehow we're going to lose either at Stanford after beating Miami, which that's just exactly how it would be for VTU normally, or we lose at Syracuse by 35 because we never can win at Syracuse. We literally have not won at Syracuse in this century. So, yeah. Hey,
No doubt.
Luke. At least my team has more Super Bowl wins than yours this century. So shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh! Now we're no. We're talking about
he's a
college
Packers
football.
fan.
We're talking about college football. Okay.
At least my team has
So
more
Connor-
Super Bowl wins than his.
So Connor,
In like 10 minutes, I'm going to have to
Commodores-
hop down for a sec.
Hey, you're good, man. So
Okay.
Connor, the Commodores, will thank you. You all and Florida might be the reason why they get to go to a bowl game this season. So
I
Yeah.
looked at your schedule. I still don't think Vanderbilt's going to win more than 4 games this season. I don't think they're still that good of a team.
well, I think they could.
I just don't.
look. I saw
The only-
Florida
the
play
only-
yesterday, and that was
Well, Vanderbilt, like, I mean, let me see Vanderbilt's schedule because I was looking at it earlier. I can't remember.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
Vanderbilt's quarterback
Alcorn
was talking
State,
mad
Georgia
shit.
State. They play Missouri, Alabama,
Loss,
Kentucky, Ball
loss,
State,
loss.
Texas.
Ball State's win. Texas loss.
They might
At
beat
Auburn.
Texas.
At Auburn,
Maybe
I don't
win.
know. It depends on how good
Well,
Auburn is. Auburn could be trash.
hey, it is Pavia.
It is,
Pavia
yeah, and it is
it's
and the same
beat
offensive
Auburn.
coordinator from New Mexico.
You guys
State.
had no answers for Pavia, by the way.
We don't
No,
have any.
and that's what
Well,
I
I
didn't
mean,
mention.
he still has to
We
play
didn't
an
sign
SEC
him.
slate.
Literally, VT. The entire time I've been a fan for VT, the one thing that they are unable to do or unwilling to do is in-game adjustments. They literally will not make in-game
Connor,
adjustments.
I have a question for you. When
What?
Vanderbilt missed that game-winning field goal, did it give you hope?
What, the one he missed? No,
Yeah.
because it shouldn't have happened. Because that special teams blunder that happened earlier in the second half. We forced them to. Oh, no, sorry, we stopped them. We've scored a touchdown. It is 17-10.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt gets into field goal range. They kick a field goal. He shanks it badly, and they also call a false start on Vanderbilt. We then, okay, cool. Vanderbilt, for some reason, decides then it's like a 53-yard attempt. They're like, okay, it's 58 yards. We're going to punt it instead, right? VT, because our punt returner is out for the most of the season, Tucker Holloway, probably one of the better punt returners in all the country, actually. They put out Ollie Jennings, number 0. They have another number 0 on punt coverage. So they have 2 number 0s on the field at the same time. 5-yard penalty, back to where Vanderbilt was before. They bring the field goal kicker back out, and he nails it from a kick that would have been about 60-plus yards, maybe 70, because that thing looked like it was still going up when it went through the uprights. So
Jesus.
That's 3 points right there. Instead of a 17-10 game, it's a 20-10 game. So then if you think about it, how the rest of the second half went, where Vanderbilt seemingly could not stop Virginia Tech's offense, actually, because Virginia Tech was actually doing the right thing where they were passing down the field. Every time they passed the ball more than 5 yards down the field, Vanderbilt couldn't stop them. But then Virginia Tech decides to revert back to doing swing passes and stretch runs. Sorry, my rant's back on. But
okay, all right. You know what? I'll give it to you. You had another 45 seconds on that rant. So
but that's
there we go. We finished out the 5 minutes.
Virginia Tech. But that's the thing. Virginia Tech is just unable and unwilling to make adjustments.
What did we have
weren't
Virginia
willing to
Tech
adjust
in the ACC?
Where did we have Virginia Tech in the ACC? What did we have?
What do we have Virginia
top
Tech
4,
finishing
top 5?
in the ACC, rather.
I think we have at least top 6.
Top 6.
I remember because I remember we had NC State. We had NC State fans really pissed at us because I think we had NC State like 6. I think we had Virginia Tech maybe like 4. Maybe I don't think they were top 4. Maybe they're like at least top 8.
Man, I'll tell you who and we talked about them, but like a lot of people didn't talk about Louisville at all, in being at the top of the ACC. Like nobody did. And now it looks like they had the chance.
Score of that game? I don't even know. What's the score of that? What was the score?
Oh, the score of the Louisville game?
Yeah.
Against Austin Peay School of the Blind, 63-0.
Oh, well, okay. Okay. Seth is telling us to stop. My rant's over.
All right. Let's keep going. Let's get to the next topic.
Crash and burn to 6. Okay, let's actually talk about this. We talked about a bunch of other teams that struggled.
I think
overall,
he was talking
a lot
to
of
me.
teams. Okay.
Because I said I think LSU is going to win this game.
Oh. Okay. Well, overall, real quick, Phil, a lot of teams struggled. Oregon struggled to win, or struggled at times. You guys were, I guess, struggling a little bit with Fresno State for a little bit of there. Clemson struggled, obviously. Florida State has struggled. Is it just
a week 1
Is it
thing?
just, start of the season nerves? Is it showing that maybe there's more parity within college football? What is it? What do you guys think?
So I think it's possibly a little bit of both, but definitely more so it's the first game of the season. These are it's finally, you get to hit someone else that's not your teammate. You get to feel the ground, all that kind of stuff. And, you get to find out, what works, what's the timing look like on this play, what could go wrong, you know what I mean? So some struggles are fine. You still, at the end of the day, you still got to win the game. You still got to pull it out at the end or make adjustments and just play better in the second half. I'll throw it down to Phil.
So I think it's first week for a lot of teams. We saw the same thing with Oregon last year, right? They almost lost to Texas Tech, right? To start the season a year ago.
Oh, Texas Tech. They almost lost to Abilene Christian. They won by 1 point. It's like 52 to 51 or something.
Crazy. It's a first week thing. A lot of teams breaking in new players. I mean, for us specifically, new quarterback, new offense. Really, the only returning starter was Colston Loveland, and he looked like the only returning starter last night, if I'm being honest. So it's a lot of factors that go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it is. I think it is showing. There is also that underestimation factor with teams.
Right.
You know, I'm not sure if Virginia Tech went in underestimating them, but they definitely just went in there and just decided to, you know, hey, Vandy, here you go, 17 free points. Maybe this is probably going to be the only good moment of this season for you. So we're going to make you feel better for yourself. But,
right.
You know, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Obviously, with a few more games going on today, one more big one tomorrow, and then we'll see how next season weeks go. Do you want to do quick stunners and bummers before you go?
I don't have.
I got. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
You don't have
I'll let
anything,
you two
Josh?
knock it out to make it shorter. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Stunner for me is Diego Pavia. Looks great. We made him look good, but 12 of 16, 190 yards, one passing touchdown, 104 rush yards, and either one or two touchdowns. Virginia Tech just was unwilling to spy him, stop him from running the ball, and it's not like he was even that fast or that big. It was just he was just taking 9-10 yard runs whenever he could. Mansour Delaney looked like burnt toast out there covering what was his name, Skinner. So that was hard to see. Bummers is for me the Virginia Tech coaching staff, just the mistakes, the unwillingness to adjust, not attacking Vanderbilt how they should have offensively by continuing to throw the ball down the field. Basil Tootin only had 9 rush attempts the entire game. Their inability to adjust defensively as well. And then that the special teams error, right? That was what allowed Vanderbilt to pretty much tie the game when they needed to towards the end of the game. So those are my stunners and bummers.
You want me to go, Josh? All right, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stunner for me, Cam Ward. I think he threw for like 385 yards, 26 to 35, 3 touchdowns on the road against Florida. The bummer for me is Billy Napier, because this is one of the last games he'll be coaching at Florida before it's over for him. So that's my stunner and bummer.
All right. So my stunner is another Cam Rising, coming out in the first game he's played in forever. It feels like 5 touchdowns. It is Utah State, but still being able to go out there and get it done like he never lost a step, like he never was hurt most of last season. Really, really impressive. Just kind of, get back on the saddle and take care of business. My bummer would be Shane Beamer and the Shamecocks almost losing at home to Old Dominion. Really, that
Virginia
came down
Tech's
to
arch rival.
Really,
We have to play them now.
Was,
after that debacle versus Vandy, we have to now go on the road to them. Oh,
it was
here comes
19. I believe final score of that game was 19-23.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where Old Dominion was leading South Carolina. Now, if I'm a South Carolina fan who maybe is expecting a bowl game this season, I'd be very worried. But, Shane Beamer's got that seat warmer turned up right now.
Right.
Hey, Ryan, you hopping on here?
What's up?
Oh, man, you sound like you're driving.
I am driving.
Don't be talking to us then, man.
You should probably get off the phone.
All right.
I got you on speaker. I got you on speaker. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
You don't have Bluetooth?
I just wanted to hop in for. What would you say,
hop
Phil?
down real quick. I said you don't have Bluetooth. Everybody has Bluetooth.
Phil, you going?
Yeah, I gotta hop down real quick.
Okay.
Okay, Phil. Are you going to be coming back or no?
Yeah, he'll be coming back. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say y'all's analysis of the A&M game was wrong, but I figured I'd hop in and say really quick, our offensive line did not get dominated like Lucas said. We were pushing A&M around, especially in that second half. Nick Skirton was supposed to dominate our left tackle. Nick Skirton didn't get a single sack. All he had was one tackle for loss the entire game. So, I mean, everybody told me that we were going to lose because our offensive line was inexperienced and A&M's D-line was going to dominate, which they did not. The passing game, I think, is a little like people are worrying about it too much because it's week 1 on the road against our top 10 defense. And, you're in a hostile environment. You're trying to protect the ball, and we had success running, so why pass? And, Riley wasn't running for his life. A lot of those runs were designed purposely because A&M refused to have a spy. So, I feel like we went into an SEC team's home. We took that over. We own Kyle Field now. That's our house. And I was told by every SEC fan that, man, Kyle Field is different. You don't know what it's like till you play there. Yet 35-40% of the fans that were at the game were Notre Dame fans. On TV, you could hear our chants, not the A&M's. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, we let him beat his chest.
So,
That's
we
good
let
job.
it-
Good job to Notre Dame for winning their toughest game of the season. It should be smooth sailing the rest of the year. And
If you guys
I
lose,
hope you all enjoy.
any game this year, we'll still laugh because you're.
By the way, Josh,
Yeah.
after we got the 4th down stop, all the Notre Dame fans started chanting SEC. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
usually what happens.
it just
mean,
means
you guys-
more, I guess.
Yeah, you beat one SEC team. Good job.
We beat A&M, South Carolina, LSU, within the last 5-10 years.
Yeah, but
So-
all when those teams were down. So.
Okay. By the way, I'm just gonna
seriously,
say
no, South Carolina wasn't. They're one big.
they
win
were
that year was Tennessee.
projected to beat us.
What in the what
That's
bowl
what
game
I-
was that?
It was the Gator Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah. But every time we play an SEC team, Josh, everybody always favors the SEC team.
well, yeah, I get it, but don't rag on the whole SEC when you beat Texas A&M. They got.
Alabama seems to struggle to beat A&M at A&M. So
Well, they haven't played yet this year, so
I will say, I'll hop off because I'm still driving and my voice
Okay,
is
man.
gone.
It's
but
just
one last
me and
thing.
Josh.
Yeah, thank you guys for the free point, by the way.
hey, that's cool. I appreciate the free point too.
Hey, by the way, Connor, I got one more thing. How the fuck did you lose to Vandy?
Did you not hear my rant that I gave?
Hold on, he didn't hear it, but I imagine it's the same way that Notre Dame loses to Marshall.
Marshall? Yeah. By the way, you guys will get into it later, but you guys got to play Marshall this week.
Well, at least it's at home, but that's
VT. Yeah.
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 But all right, guys, I'm
We'll
going to
see.
help out. I'm driving.
All right.
You guys
man,
take
be
good
safe.
care, man. Yeah, will do.
Absolutely. Congrats to your Fighting Irish there on that quality win.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
All
So
right,
it's
taking
right.
off
So
here.
it's just now
There we
me and Josh.
Yeah,
Phil,
the smartest
Lucas,
people. Number 1 and number
Ron.
2 in the pick'ems.
That's true. Well, actually, we have no idea. Right now, we're still tied, but actually, technically, you need one more because you got Vandy. Ryan needs one more because he got Notre Dame.
Yeah,
and no
here,
one
let
else
me
got
let me
those,
go
so-
through. Let me go through because I've got my list. Oh boy, so
Just yours or
Wyoming lost. I'm just going through mine. Let me pull up scores. But yeah, let's talk about what other banners do we got? What's next?
Well, I had surprise team, but since we had surprise players, surprise team, but I guess surprise team. I guess Vandy.
Vanderbilt.
I don't
I'd be
know.
okay with Vanderbilt being a surprise team.
Yep. Surprise player. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't have anyone. This
I
is
still
something
like my
new that
stunner.
we're trying this year.
Yeah, doing both of these because the surprise player is a little bit different than the stunner in the fact that it's somebody we don't expect to do well who actually balls out, and it takes a little bit of time to go through all the stats to kind of find that player.
Honestly, you could.
Hold on, who was the guy for?
Fabio.
Hold on, Restrepo for Miami. Dude was a baller. Let me find.
What about Tennessee's? What about Tennessee's quarterback? Making his
Tennessee
first career
played.
start.
Lema Lavela. That's his second start, by the way. He started in a bowl game. He played very well, but people were expecting him to play well. Hey, man, you can't overlook the mocks.
That's
Jesus.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's,
Let me find the stats for Restrepo. Yeah, Xavier Restrepo. Here we go.
Was he the guy? Wasn't he the guy who literally caused the Florida State quarterback to like tear his ACL mid-play? Did you see that?
Yeah, 7 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown.
Well, I knew Restrepo. I remember. I mean, I knew Restrepo was going to be good because he is a star in college football 25. So I had a feeling he was probably going to be good.
Yeah, but he absolutely balled out against Florida. Made Florida look like they didn't belong on the same field, which, you know.
We shall wait for. I guess whenever Phil gets back, but I guess we'll need Lucas and Ryan to give their picks for these. I do not have the bet lines. I have no idea I have no idea who's favored in any of these games because didn't feel like spending too much time.
It's a lot of research. Man, North Carolina just had a disappointing game against Minnesota.
What?
North Carolina had a disappointing game against Minnesota. But yeah.
True. I think North Carolina. I mean, neither team. I mean, North Carolina obviously lost their quarterback. Neither team looked that great. So,
yeah.
See. Okay.
We still have some of our pick'ems yet to play. So, well, at least one of them, LSU.
Should we just hold off there?
They're playing right now. They're tied with a minute to go in the half.
Didn't we also do Boston College at Florida too?
Yes, we did. That was part of our picks. So those are the two games that we haven't done yet. I'm looking for all of mine.
Ryan's just let Ryan take care of it. That's what he usually does. He takes care of all
because it can be difficult to get through all this, you know.
And just because I know it's not, I don't want to mess him up. I'm going to put your scores back down, so we all have 2 again.
That is fine.
That way it's not. Okay, it'll just be me and Josh giving our pick'ems then for this week. We still are going to have a show on Friday night, though, right?
Yes, I believe we're doing that, and that'll be one of our very rare once a year, everyone together in the same room. Going to be broadcasting that live.
I feel like we should have just saved this show for then. I feel like we should have saved this show for then, or we should just save the pick'ems for then.
Well, we can save the pick'ems for then. That's fine. We can save the pick'ems, but we can still talk about the week. And my God, what a weird week of football. All right, there were weather delays all over the place. I was part of one that was honestly asinine. I did not like it. I understand the rules, but lightning strike within 20 miles does not mean everything for it doesn't mean the same thing for different parts of the country.
I think West Virginia also was West Virginia Penn State was in
West Virginia Penn State was South Carolina was Louisville was for a minute. But really what happened, and I could say what happened locally, was we had a lot of scattered thunderstorms and a bunch of cells popping up around Lexington. And so when a cell would pop up, it would start producing lightning. Well, it's not coming anywhere near the stadium. It's 20 miles away. It's on the other side of the city. That's how localized these cells were. But if a lightning strike hits the other side of Lexington, that's within 20 miles, That's a lightning delay.
Yep, get delay.
Yeah, and it was almost continuous for about it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it's supposed to be a 7:45 kick. It kicked at 10:05, and then they called another delay at about 10 minutes left in the third quarter, and they just called it.
I saw you. It was a 31-0, and you had no points in the fourth, and I was like, all right, they just called the game.
Yeah, yeah, they called the game with a lot left in the third. So that score is a little deceptive. Some people would look at that and be like, oh, they only beat them by 31. That's not really what happened. Kentucky
you only won
the ball.
Oh, that really matters. You're only going to win by 40.
Man, some people look when you have other teams in our same league beating like Arkansas dropped 70. Ole Miss dropped 70. Tennessee almost dropped 70. It's 69, which nice score. And that's going to be some chirping points. Oh, you only beat them by that. And just people who don't know how the game went, But I could say this. I could give you a little bit of a recap of what did happen at the Kentucky game. So they debuted new LED lights at the stadium. Looked fantastic. I got some videos of that I'm going to share with you all, not on the stream, but in our group chat. They had – I really enjoyed the pace of play. It's very different from what Kentucky's had. Or sell like Markovic's home in the late 2000s. Jesus, man. All right. At what point is this punching down? All right.
He's British. So he has dark ass humor at times. It's hilarious.
Has he experienced college football?
He chooses to be a Wisconsin fan because he lives in Britain, but he's a Packers fan.
But he's a Green Bay fan, so he just went to Wisconsin. There's so many better.
He chooses to be a Wisconsin fan.
That's tough.
So he chooses to be a Wisconsin fan, and so he also chooses to be a Milwaukee Bucks fan. So that has its own ups and downs as well. So
just all in there. Okay. Well, at least he picked a region and stuck with it. Yeah. But man,
that's true. That is good.
We could talk about how the ACC looked, if you want to.
The ACC looks like it's. I mean, if we're just going to finish up, the ACC just looks like it's not going to exist in like 5 years because all the other teams are just going to be like, ooh, Virginia Tech is going to be left behind. They're going to not even the Sun Belt is going to want to add us because we suck that badly.
Well, I mean, you could
probably.
You can come to the SEC and then make a bowl game again.
Well, it's ironic you mentioned that. I found out during the game that a Texas A&M fan was like, yeah, you actually almost were. The rumor was you and Texas A&M, Virginia Tech were the two teams that were being considered to join back in 2012. VT got cold feet, and then Missouri replaced us. So we could have been in the SEC. Probably, we still would have had those down years.
Probably about 10 years now.
But I feel like being in the SEC, like that would have helped. Maybe
it helps with recruiting.
That would help with recruiting. I think we wouldn't have been as much of a downfall as we had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we pretty much would have been exactly where Missouri where it was for a while, but maybe not as hot as the heights that they've seen since then. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So other conferences that have looked good. The Big Ten looked good. The SEC has been taking care of business, really looked good. I believe they only had one loss, and that was Florida to Miami, which when Florida loses, everybody loses. That's fantastic.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Man. What a weird, but college football's
That's
back,
why I said it's already that's why I wrote it as it's already weak. College football is back and it's already chaotic. That's why I titled this show as pretty much because it already is. Did you see the post that I shared in the group chat about?
No, I did not. Let me pull this up. What did it say?
BT was the only double digit
favorite
team to lose. Favorite to lose.
Oh man.
At least of all the, I think of all the, I'm not sure if it was just in Power 5, but that wouldn't make sense because a lot of Power 5
Power
teams
4
also played each other. So. Power 4, excuse me. Oh, he shanked it.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Well,
so the game.
Only
so yeah. So is it still 10-10 halftime? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's 10-10.
All right.
Yeah,
well, we want to. I think it's a good time to wrap this up so we can watch the rest of this football game.
Yeah, and I can finally eat. I literally actually haven't had anything to eat today because I had an auction fantasy draft at 4:30. I didn't want to, because I've never done an auction draft before. So I tried that, and that literally took 2.5 hours because of the method, like nearly 3 hours, the way it goes.
I was out playing golf today, and I would have had a little bit more time, but we got stuck behind a very slow group. Took 7 hours to do 18 holes. That's insane. They wouldn't let us buy either.
You'll love this. I was not paying attention, and I accidentally, in 3 consecutive, not consecutive, but pretty close, because have you ever done auction drafts before?
I've never done an auction draft. What is it?
So it's, you just choose, you can just choose any player, and you can nominate them, and then you can be like, here, I'll place $1, and then everyone else can start betting incremental dollar increases on players, right?
Okay.
And you have a set amount of money to pull it out. So we had $250. I accidentally got 3 consecutive bench wide receivers that all have week 12 buys. And I already had another wide receiver starting my lineup that had a week 12 bye. And one of my starting running backs and another quarterback are all week 12. So week 12 is going to suck for me this year.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed L. Yeah, that sounds like it.
Well, maybe not. But
maybe not.
Yeah. So it's like I bought Breece Hall for $72, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, and
that's
then I got the best steals I got was like I got Jordan Love for $20.
Oh, nice.
Quarterbacks were kind of expensive though. Like Lamar got Mahomes and Lamar were each over $50. What other steals did I get? I can't remember. Anyway.
Okay. Well, on that note,
On that note, we'll wrap it up. So nice long stream. First, we had a wide range of how it went. I'm the only one who's been here the entire time. First, it was me and Phil. Then you joined. Then Lucas. No, then Lucas joined.
Well, Lucas joined. Then I did. Yeah.
Then Lucas leaves. Phil leaves. Ryan joins. And then he leaves. And now
look, we got everybody involved today.
We got in. Yeah, exactly. So we will be back on Friday live, all 5 of us together in Oregon. We are all going to the Boise State Oregon game together.
In the same room on a black leather couch.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say it. So,
we're all standing behind the pills on the couch.
No, not. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking something. I was going to say something else. But anyway, so we will do that. We'll probably do a wrap up talking, I don't know, about some other games. We'll also do our pick'ems. So we have 20 some odd games. It's probably gonna be a nice short little less than hour long stream, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, because of our travel times, we won't do a Sunday night stream because of that, since I'm not getting back. I'm not landing in Myrtle Beach at midnight, and I have an hour-long drive back here to Wilmington. So that's fun.
Yes, it is easy to clean.
Yes, it very much is. Yes, it's us like that. Piper, what's her name? Piper with the 5 guys behind her.
Oh God, no. Yeah, you get the last name right. I don't remember. I don't participate in that.
Yeah. Have a good night,
guys.
We'll
be back next week. Yeah.
Can't wait. College football is back with all the pain and misery that comes with it.
officially back. Oh man, that's nice.
NFL football starts this week too. Can't wait for
Sure
that.
does on the 8th. Or sorry, they got a Thursday night game.
Yeah, it's Ravens at Chiefs to start to
Oh,
kick the season
sick.
off.
That'll be nice.
So, okay, have a good night, guys.
All right, good night.